Togashi 君、君ね、何回も補導されてるって言うじゃないか。
試合の時だけ来てもらえるか。
Man, fuck you, old man.
富樫は福田の指示を忠実に守っている。
He's loyal, bro.
よく我慢している。富樫、今日のお前は良かったぞ。献身的な守備。お前の守備力あってこそのチームだ。イエローカードが多いのがたまに傷だ。分かっている。お前のはラフプレーじゃない。闘争心を持ち続ける。お前は今のままでいい。
Man, that Zombie saying to him got me about to fucking tear up, bruh. If it's one thing a young man needs, it's a coach in his corner. And whether it be a father figure or the actual father, it doesn't have to be about a sports or a game. It's about the game called life. And we know there's 4 quarters to this shit. And man, you need to be coached up and ready to go. Because if you're not, the opposition will knock you flat on your ass. And the question is, are you going to be able to get up? Are you going to have the spirit to get up? Are you going to have to want to get up? Are you going to have to want to fight and, battle through adversity when you face injuries and setbacks? This shit ain't easy, man. And from the jump, we can see that Togashi had cards stacked up against him. Not just his look. He's tall, he's imposing, he's got a nasty look on his face. He looked like a thug. I mean, he's a thug. But people labeled him from the jump. They said, hey man, I heard you had a few run-ins with the police. And did you look into it? Did you even know what's behind that? Who caused it? Who started it? If I'm an instigator? If I'm actually throwing hands? If I'm actually getting violent? Or is these just, scared people and unwarranted calls? But, of course, they just paint it with, a broad stroke. Because you're scaring the other guys and they don't perform quite as well. That's up to them, man. It's still their fucking game. Ain't my fault that they soft? That they pussy? Fuck out of here. And then the other dude was talking about, you're a little rough around the edges. I won't want you hurting, injuring any of our players. Man, see, and that association. You're violent. You've been involved with the cops, so it's your fault. You're wrong. Something wrong with you. Injure, hurt our players because you have no decorum. You're not taking the game seriously because you are a bad guy and you've been associated with, this and that. Just label him, man. Don't even know this motherfucker. But you can see, man, he was going through all this. He just trained by himself in the interim. So he kept that discipline. Training with the ball. He was like, Fukuda, the one man he respects, the one man who looks at him. He's like, in the beginning, when they joined the U team after Ashi passed the trials, he was like, we're gonna have a few people that, rough around the edges on our team that, may not have the particular look that you think that we should have, all clean cut, bowl cut guys, whatever, pristine and squeaky clean. And so some of the moms and some of the, community were like, who's this guy? He looks like he's a thug, man. Man, fuck you, bruh. This man can be the savior of your goddamn team in some ways. Because as we go on to see, Zomi says you kept to what Fukuda's taught you. And you're shining, man. You're a bright spot. Faithfully following Fukuda's instructions, which showed that he's loyal and that someone that actually walks the talk, that actually is not just full of just preaching at him, just trying to, get over on him. He'll actually get in line and follow you. If you lead, he will follow. If you show him results, he'll have trust in you. But, he just can't come up empty. He made an impact in Togashi's life. Togashi honestly has garnered a lot of respect for this man. He says that deserves praise. You're doing well to stick to it. Just keeping on Togashi, but making sure that he, his spirits are kept up and he's being encouraged. And that's something nobody else has done for Togashi up until now. Everybody's always disparaged him, just used him. Okay, you just, show up to the game. We don't want you around. We just need you to perform. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. We don't want you around other than that. So he had no time to put in that time with teammates, build bonds, and actually go beyond the on-field to get, true chemistry and to carve his name into the team. He's just showing up for games. He's just useful. He's just a pawn. He's just a guy. Doesn't allow him to read into, the movements of his teammates and the deeper levels of things that are gonna help you to excel in that environment. He's not even part of the environment. He's a cookie cutter piece that, cut and paste. And how awkward is that? and how awkward does it look? I'm sure it did look awkward. It was awkward. And again, Nozomi with the praise. You did well today. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that assist I got to Yotsune. He's like, no, your self-sacrificing defense. We literally owe everything to you. You are the best defender on this team. You set the tone for the defense. You are the shining example of defense for this team. And we need that. You know what it means for him to tell him basically that you're the defensive MVP? For somebody that, like Togashi, that's not accepted by his teammates, who's an outcast. It means everything. It shows that Nozomi really believes in him. He's an extension of Fukuda. But, you know, he's like, this guy ain't Fukuda. Man, I came and be coached by him. But in turn, he found a coach who really sees him, acknowledges him for who he is, his flaws and everything. And that goes a long way with Togashi. He's a loyal motherfucker. He's a loyal guy. You seen that coming in the camp with his guys. They sent him off. They wouldn't be there showing that kind of emotion, affection, and attention if he wasn't a passionate, loyal, earnest guy. Not everybody garners that type of respect from their peers. Togashi stands head and shoulders above everyone else when it comes to that regard. He's as fierce and as loyal as they come. He likes you, he's invested in you. He likes you, he'll defend you. Not just defend on the field, but he'll defend you. Nozomi said they owe everything to him. You cannot take that away from him. And also another point, he said, you get too many yellow flags, it's your only flaw. He said, hey man, no, Togashi explaining this. He said, it's not my fault, they just like the ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out there. And he said, before he can even try to, have to explain himself, Nozomi, he already knows because he knows Togashi. He trusts him. He said, no, I know it's not because of roughhousing. The refs throw too many flags because you're just a bigger, more physically imposing player. That makes him misdiagnose those penalties. It shouldn't be there. You can't help that you're bigger than anybody. Just like in Damakansu, he just used to ragdoll quarterback. It's not his fault. He's just bigger, stronger than everybody else. So it looks like child's play out there. Shout out Chucky. But he said, don't change. Keep everything the same. I got you. And that's all Togashi needed to hear. That's all he's been waiting to hear his whole life. That you're good as you are. Yeah, you might be a little eccentric. You're a tough guy. You're loud. You don't fit into the conventional box. But that's okay. Be you. Go out there and excel. We're not trying to change you. We just want you to be you, Togashi. And he's needed coaches like that his whole life. That's why he sought out Fukuda and sought to continue on with him. It makes all the difference when you're accepted for who you are and not having to transform, pretend, disguise yourself as someone else or something else that you're not. And when he says those words to Togashi, keep that fighting spirit because it keeps the team strong. He might butt heads with Takeshima and Kuroda and Asari, but that makes them rise up to the challenge of meeting him to his level of inspiration and aggression and pride. Yeah, there's pride involved. But guess what? It raises all boats, his high tide. And he says, you're fine as you are? When Togashi was like, oh, yeah, man, I wanted to cry, man, because this kid, he's worked way too hard to be misjudged by some stupid assholes for stuff like his appearance and the outward things that are, very surface level, don't look deeper. Fuck y'all. Fuck what you heard. He's in that Vegeta mode, and I like them kind of niggas. He's a prince out here. The Kuwabara of Ao Ashi.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like.
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.